Hello. Just wanted to hop on and remind you that your thoughts today create where you're headed in life. So, auditing your thoughts and seeing if they serve you is a very beautiful, worthy way to spend your time, whatever you are doing. Pay attention to what comes up, what you're thinking, and you can immediately let it go and choose a better thought that is more in alignment with where you're going. And a beautiful exercise is knowing where you're going instead of using life's randomness and the programs within you to let things come and just be in a reactive, responsive state, but to have a vision of where you're going. And you can get this vision in meditation. You can create this vision. You can exhale and just get into nature and enjoy all the beautiful images that come to you. And knowing, are you a confident person? Are you a wealthy person? Are you traveling? Are you with a large community, a small community? Are you living in a big house, a small house? Do you have roommates? Do you live with friends? Do you travel with friends? Do you, whatever it is, having the image. And if you sit in meditation with that image, you can find the vibrations, the frequencies, the emotions of that image. What does that person look like? What do they think like? What do they enjoy? What do they wear? What do they do for fun? You can feel those things. And if you're in alignment with your deepest desires and not creating things out of habit to please others, but you're deeply in alignment with your soul and you can feel it, you'll get goosebumps, which I'm covered in right now. And you can find the frequencies of that. And then you can use that in the day-to-day. When you have a thought, is this in alignment with those frequencies of where I want to go? And then, okay, drop it, put it down, and choose the frequency that does align and feel it. Because we are vibrational beings. You are emitting a frequency every second. Every thought emits a frequency and a vibration. And then you are resonating that vibration and you get more of the same thoughts. So you can reach for better feeling thoughts and reach for thoughts more in alignment with where you're going, with knowing. This is where mantras come in and affirmations and things like that, because you're dropping old storylines and you're anchoring into new ones, and you're anchoring in and you're anchoring in. And I know some people that set alarms on their phone every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, every hour. And the alarm just goes off for a second and it reminds them to anchor back into what they actually do desire. And it kind of helps keep yourself from being on autopilot, unconscious, offering vibrations that are sloppy and not in alignment with where you're going and where you want to be in life. Because we are creators, we are co-creators. Every time I say creators, everything is a co-creation with the divine, but we are creators and we use our thoughts to create. This is what prayer is. Pray for it and see it as done. Be in that end frequency. Be in that feeling, as Neville Goddard calls it, the wish fulfilled. Be in that end state. And when we have practices like meditation and we've kind of cleared our thoughts and audited, and we have this room, we have this beautiful, more clear canvas for creation of what we do want, of finding the knowing and the conscious ability of surrendering into it, into greater alignment with zero resistance to those thoughts, because you know and you have faith and you just know. When you get to that spot, you know. And it's just such a beautiful use of these vessels to be able to create that which you do want, because you're going to be living what your thoughts are focused on anyway. And why not use them for the highest good of what you actually want. And when you're getting into alignment with that version of you, that end state version that you've mindfully created and identified, and you're getting into those feelings and those thoughts, you're going to create and bring in the situations that you would experience, that you want to experience. And you're going to move away from the things that you're going to have a conscious ability to move away from things that are out of alignment, where you feel the resistance and you feel that that's not even the right path. When autopilot, you would have done that situation a billion times and showed up to that group and showed up to that event that isn't in alignment with where you're going, because it matters who you're around. It matters what rooms you align with and what rooms you feel confident in and centered in, and what people are bringing to you, the new ideas and that expansion and that reaching and that excitement, because they're living in the vibration of maybe trips and vacations and things like that, and they're not living in lack and telling old stories. Because if you're living in lack and telling old stories, you're going to keep living them, and then you're going to say, it's true, look around, it's true. Of course it's true. That's what your thoughts tell you. And whether you like it or not, whether you choose it or not, it's what will come. So it's true because we are expert manifestors, and every second of every day we're manifesting. Everything around you is a manifestation. Now, is it what you want, or is it like a sloppy manifestation? And every single one of us, I think, being human, is guilty of sloppy manifestations. We see what's around us and we react. And the more conscious you become, the more you start to see the immediate correlations and the things play out. The more focused you are with your thoughts, you see the faster stream around you. You are able to throw that inner tube in the river and jump in and ride it down with no resistance, because your thoughts know where you're going. They know that feel good. They know that hell yes. Abraham always talks about putting your kayak in the river and pointing it upstream and paddling upstream, and that's complete resistance. That's going against yourself. That's misalignment. That source is showing you the way straight down the stream, but you have beliefs that it has to be hard, or it has to be this certain way, but it's not your soul's calling. It's not where you're being guided. So there's a lot in here, but it ultimately comes down to where you place your thoughts is where you're going to be living in the future. It's where you're going. And so are you going to keep looking at that past and telling those old stories? How long are you going to tell that? How long are you going to live that and copy and paste that forward? How long are you going to let that event or that person or that situation dictate the rest of your life? Because as of right now, this is the first day of the rest of your life. How do you want the story to go? And usually when we tell these stories, like victim stories or whatever, there's a benefit. So finding the benefit of that story, and it's completely innocent. You heard me say a billion times, there's something in it, a benefit that's keeping you safe, that your subconscious doesn't want to move out of that space. And so sitting with that and finding what the benefit is to that limited state and seeing it from that conscious state kind of just dissolves it, and you can move forward, and then you can put your focus on what you do want to create going forward. And the unlimited, expansive life gets to be good. You get to choose goodness if you allow it. You get to see beauty. You get to see miracles. Miracles are normal, if you can say that and see them as normal. Beautiful alignment and friendships are normal, unless you say the opposite. Money coming in is normal, unless you believe the opposite. And a lot of these, they can be generational. It's in your genes, these beliefs, and it's what you've seen practiced your whole life. So you got to practice something new. You have to get out of this routine. That's why some people, they'll go to different environments. The environment of that end frequency that they desire where would that person go? What would they do? And they put themselves in that environment and they feel the feelings of it. They feel the freedom, the unlimited, the expansive. Joe Dispenza talks about healings all the time. He talks about creation on any level possible. But one of them is healings, and why they're so dramatic healings, because you don't mess around with the frequency of your life, because today is a printout of it. So looking in the back and all of those stories and all of that, it can't be any different, because this is who you are today. This is the frequency. This is the pain in the body. It's these stories. So if you want no pain in the body, you can't tell these stories. You go into meditation, you clear your mind, and you do what Jesus said. You see it as done. You get to that end state. He would heal people and say, go forth and tell no one. He didn't want you living in that old state and telling the sob story and all of those things. Focus forward. Praying and seeing it as done instead of worrying, which is the same thought, but you're praying for what you don't want. So getting your body into that state and that knowing of health allows your cells to replenish and heal themselves. Your cells are replenishing on a second basis, some of them. You have like an entirely new gut lining in a very short period of time. Your body's always redoing. So why is it the same? Because your thoughts and your stories are the same. Your belief in it is the same. It has to be this way. It's always been this way. Okay, well then it definitely has to be that way. And it's true because it's always been that way, because you are a powerful manifester. Where are you going to place your thoughts? It is incredibly empowering when you realize that you can choose expansion and freedom and love and joy and gratitude and feel those in your life and bring them in more and more, because that's what you focused on. And anything that you've created and manifested that hasn't been something that you really like, I created hell for myself, it's innocent. Everything's innocent, because you would have never knowingly done that. There's subconscious programs and you're reacting and you're not conscious to what's going on, and you're absolutely, every person every day is doing their best they can do, the best that they can do to feel better. And judging somebody else's canvas doesn't feel very good. We all know it. So that's why being absent of judgment is just the way to complete forgiveness and soaring. And so if you have victim-y stories making others wrong, it's time to look at that, because the universe will bring you full circle on anything you judge, and you will find yourself in the opposite of that, the opposite polarity, being judged for that same type of frequency. It's giving me goosebumps, because once you start to see it, you just start to see it. And it's not punishment, it's frequency, it's a match. And it's meant to show us the beautiful full circle image. Things that I judged my parents for growing up, I've lived as a parent. And it's this beautiful realization of the innocence of it. And then the complete forgiveness of everyone for everything, and the complete forgiveness of yourself for everything. And you just reach deeper levels of love and understanding from here. And the more you clean and clear the things that do not serve you and the stories that do not serve you, the higher you rise. It's like you have a hot air balloon, and you kind of thank all of these sandbags and all of these stories that held you down to the ground, because they allowed you to jump in, and now you're cutting them off. And as you cut them, you're going to soar higher and higher and higher, and your vantage point in life just gets greater. And you're alchemizing all of these stories and bringing them within and clearing them. And that just leads to massive movements of energy in the body on a physical level and an energetic level. And everything starts to shift. So when you have physical symptoms in the body that are debilitating, or not debilitating, just irritating, like any physical symptom in the body, it's a conversation. And it started as an emotion. And it started as an emotion that got stuffed and denied and ignored. And you're not wrong for doing that. What are you trying to do? Trying to survive. And so by the time it's screaming in pain, your body's really having the conversation. And there's a disconnect between your soul. You're not hearing. They're literally telling you all of the answers, and you can't hear it. So getting into stillness, getting into quiet, asking for help from your guardian angels, your guides, everyone. Show me the root of this, and just being really open-minded to seeing it and seeing whatever limiting story comes up, because you'll find it. And then you can let that go from that place and transmute the energy. And your body should feel amazing every single day. You should not have pain. Pain is 100% trapped emotions. It's stored emotional baggage you have not dealt with, and you are innocent. So finding that love for yourself and that conversation that your body's trying to have, that emotions that you've ignored, is incredibly liberating, because not only do you have the ability to liberate pain in one swoop, but you're cutting off that sandbag and that emotional baggage, and you're liberating that energy that your body has used to stuff that down and hold it out of place from getting triggered, which is incredibly exhausting. You now have all of that energy liberated, and all of the energy from the trapped emotion. And it's just this huge rush and movement in the body that frees you up for creation, more for creation, and deeper levels of love. In life, you see more beauty instead of seeing more of that thing which you were trying to stuff down, which kept you stuck. Because you can't move past it without actually letting it go. You're just holding it there, wrong in the dark in hell, and you're forced to be there. Hell is not a place, it's a state of mind. And we've all lived there many, many times if you're human. And it's innocent. And finding the heaven within, getting into that frequency, that creator seat, and feeling it and knowing it is something I can dance around and point to and talk to, but you got to get there yourself, and you got to feel it yourself. And you wouldn't want anything external to you, because it's this incredible experience, and I'm just using words to translate it, and words are just words. You want to feel it for yourself, trust me. And if you probably already have, and you know exactly that feeling that I'm talking about. So liberating that energy, letting go of hell, bringing light to that space of darkness, that shadow. It's a shadow. And shadows are not scary once you go in and illuminate with the darkness, that just one big loving hug melts it all. But it can feel debilitating and scary, the unknown going into it. And just know in faith, you're going to be okay. And embracing it and seeing it allows you to embrace it and see it in others. And you see the innocence of it, and you see the beauty of every person just trying their absolute best with their code and their body to live their absolute best, most authentic, most beautiful life. And they were just dealt a different hand of cards than you were, and they're playing it differently. But you both are exactly the same in trying to make the best choice to be the best person you can. And there's something really beautiful about that when you realize that in the world. And so I say today, put your focus on miracles, on feeling, look back in the past, find the miracles that have happened in your life, the miraculous, find the incredible timing, this is a good way to start looking back and feeling the frequency. And then eventually you can start creating it. You can just drop into that right now. I can feel freedom. Oh my gosh, the choices, the endless choices, and just bask in that. And so my focus is on that. My thoughts are on that. My frequency is emitting that. And so it's creating, when you sit here, more and more thoughts to match that. And then it's what I'm calling in. It's what I'm a match for. Your body is essentially this energy. You're at all times, you're all of these different frequencies, and they kind of pull into, I'm going to try to describe it and what it feels like. They pull into this like average, you take it all in, and there's the most dominant ones, and it creates like an energetic plug essentially. And everything you desire, you can create, and it has like a power cord to it, and you have to be the frequency of that power cord to plug in and see everything which you desire. But if you focus on the absence of those things you want, you're holding them apart from you. You're creating resistance. You're pointing your canoe upstream, as Abraham said. You're not jumping in the inner tube and woo, down to the bottom for an amazing ride. And so focusing your thoughts. If any situation that comes up, and an incredible exercise is breathe out. Let's say it's stress. Breathe out the stress and breathe in peace. breathe in calm. Find its opposite and breathe it in. Don't keep looking at that thing around you and bringing more of it. You can see it, you can react to it, and then you can choose. So breathe out whatever it is and breathe in that thing which you desire. And you are studying your frequency. You're creating that power source, that outlet, to be a match for that thing which you want, because that's the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of assumption. It's all like with like. What you get is what you are is what you get, not what you want. You don't get what you want, because wanting almost implies the absence of it. I want it, I don't have it. So it's you focusing on what you don't want. But when you are the frequency of that which you do want, it's there in lightning speed. And so practicing that is a superpower, and it comes with meditation and focus and getting into the driver's seat and letting go of what you don't want, so that they're not, bothering you as much, and you have more room to create. And from there, focusing your vibration on what you do want and bringing it in. So I will leave this here. Have an amazing weekend. Practice that vibration. Practice curating that person which you're stepping into, and step into it, and allow your life to let go of old stories. And there's a huge flock of birds soaring up into the sky right now. The universe is amazing at those little synchronicities. So go live your beautiful day and live it intentionally.